Hope everyone is okay and well. Today's video is Darin Geddes on Sonny's channel. It's a crime and shame. So if you haven't already, please go and check out Sonny's channel. There's a lot of good people over there. Sonny, Charmaine and Kent and Belinda, Lilly and Jack's grandmother, is always involved in the search for her grandchildren. So please go and show your love and support to It's a Crime and Shame. So just so everybody knows what's happening, I have changed the plan a little because a lot of the clips are over an hour long. I'm just going to do one clip as one video because I don't want to put them all together and put people off when they see a 4 or 5 hour video. But when I get to the smaller clips, I will start putting them together again.
I have Derwood on the phone, and I'm just gonna, Derwood, can we just do a quick test? Can you just quickly say Derwood, Derwood, Derwood?
Derwood.
Can you hear that just fine?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So again, you guys in chat, always be respectful. So Derwood is the person that has called into Dolly's show. And honestly, Derwood, I'm just gonna let you say whatever you would like to say today, right now, and then maybe we can ask you a few questions throughout it, or you can ask us anything we're thinking as well. Or so I'll just let you take the wheel. Go ahead.
Well, all right. My mind is kind of rambling right now, but let's go to the first thing. I was
Sure.
called a liar because I said that Daniel and Malaya had lived together for 4.5 years. And that's true, because what a lot of people don't know is that Daniel lived with Malaya at my cousin's place, who is Patty, the great-grandmother, for about a year, up to a year and a half, before they moved to Lansdowne. And then they lived in Lansdowne at 3 years, for about 3 years.
Okay.
So that's a lot of people don't know. Well, nobody, I suppose, would know that they lived there for over a year before they moved to Lansdowne, before the lady gave them their trailer to live in. Now, the shit has hit the fan a little bit here today.
Because you're kicking up dirt, right?
I was visiting with the family,
Mm-hmm.
and I was asking some questions, and there was somebody there that I just sort of wanted to let them know that I knew something, because I was pretty suspicious of them. And I believe they were actually eavesdropping on me, which I counted on. So I let out a little information that should have shook things up. And then I believe the person that eavesdropped on me, I intentionally let them eavesdrop on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe they directly called Malaya, and within a half an hour, Malaya had panicked and grabbed Meadow, and took off from Cindy's place, which is her mother's place in Wentworth.
Right.
And that's where she's been staying under 24-hour supervision by CPS. But anyway, she fought with her mother. Her mother tried to keep her there physically and couldn't keep her there. And Malaya headed, what I was told by the other family members who called me back right away, and that she had grabbed the baby and ran and headed for the reserve in Shubenacadie. Why she would head for the reserve, I don't know. And I don't know for sure if that's where the chief of the Micmac Reserve, it's his brother that's her lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
And the only thing I can think of in that, and not so, what I don't know, I'll say I don't know. What I know, I know. Now, I don't know exactly why she ran for the reserve,
Mm-hmm.
but the only connection I can think of is that her lawyer's there. Maybe she thinks she can get some kind of, I don't know, legal protection or whatever, because I think she realizes that the jig is up. And I think she realized that I knew more than I made an educated guess, and I think I was right, and it made her panic.
Right.
So she did that, and then that's mainly what I want to say for now, is that I think the jig is up, and things are going to break pretty quick. Now, as far as the kids, and I said this before, and I meant it. I don't care. Things have gone too far. I don't care which family, the Mackenzies, Daniel's family.
Yeah.
Daniel's last name is Martel, but
Yeah.
his family are
Mackenzie
McKenzie boys.
Yeah.
And they're a good bunch of people. They're hardworking people. Daniel's a hard worker, and he's not. Daniel, to me, has always been a very respectful guy. I can't say a bad thing about Daniel. And as far as his heavy drug use, Daniel did have a drug problem up until about two and a half years ago, and he's been clean for over 2 years. He attends Narcotics Anonymous on a regular basis, and he's been clean for over 2 years. So this bullshit about a big meth house, and I know who that came from. The guy down the road that started that horse shit is one of the worst people in this county. So let's just say, if there was ever anybody you would not believe, that would be the guy.
Well, okay, because that one was basically the neighbors saying that they drove by the house. There was like a big party going on Wednesday or Thursday. They couldn't remember, and that's kind of what started like this whole, drug party thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, was that post? Yeah.
Exactly. That guy, and I won't say his name, of course.
That's fine. Yeah.
That guy and his brother got chased straight out of the towns here for doing a lot of really dirty stuff, for a lot of stealing, a lot of assaulting people together, and he was pretty well. That's why he's out in the country. He pretty well got chased out there. So and he's a very
yeah.
And by the way,
yeah,
I'm supporting Daniel quite a little bit, but I'm not ruling anything out with Daniel.
Absolutely right. I mean,
I'm not ruling anything out with any of them other than this. Cindy, the great-grandmother, knows nothing and has no responsibility or connection to this at all. Patty, the great-grandmother, has no responsibility or connection to this at all, other than being very concerned.
Right.
Now, this is what I had to investigate in my family hard, because I firmly believe that my first sort of dig into this found that the arrows were pointing hard at Malaya and Daniel.
Yeah.
And it came to be that there's a lot more pointing at Malaya with the actual problem with the kids disappearing than Daniel. Daniel is confused. He thinks he knows what happened,
right?
And he knows part of it, but believe it or not, he is very desperate. He's just sick about Meadow. But I'm not saying he's totally innocent in this. But
right.
Listen, there's been no big crimes. There's been no big murders. There's been no big, huge abductions. There's been no children getting sold for drugs. It's all been overworked. It's all been overblown. And what's happening here right now, and this is 99%. I'm absolutely sure. What's happening here right now is there was a young couple together. They had kids. They were stuck out in the country. Well, Malaya wasn't very happy because it's pretty damn boring out there. And a couple other things. And they were having their differences. There was I won't say which one. There was one not disciplining the kids enough, and there was another disciplining the kids a little bit, like believed in. Not to the extent of abuse. I don't believe that, but I believe corporal punishment. Our people believe in a slap in the arse now and then.
Right.
Some people don't.
Old school ways.
That's right. So there was a difference of opinion in there. And then I believe Malaya did have some postpartum depression when Meadow came along.
Yes.
And that created some problems. And then financially, now Daniel worked that this 1 day a week thing is another bullshit. It's that mill, like I said, I got to know Daniel because my young fellow worked at the same mill with him for a couple of years up there, and that's how I got to know Daniel, because I moved since then, half a mile down the road from the mill. So when they'd come from work, they'd stop in at the house together. They got to be friends, and like I say, Daniel always acted respectfully and very decent around me and my people. There was never any problem. Now, I'm 65. Where was I going with
You know what, Derwood, I do the same thing all the time. Now, can I just ask you one thing? What day? Can we just ask what day did Daniel actually work on? This one day that he
Oh,
worked?
that's where we were. No, listen.
Oh,
See, it varies. He
it
always
varies.
worked 5 days a week.
Right.
Sometimes overtime. The reason the mill shuts down here is we have road closures for frost and that when the frost's coming in and out. So there's a couple of times a year in the spring and the fall we have road closures for a few weeks, so the mill closes down.
Yeah.
And then the odd time that mill runs out of product, so they close down once in a while. And what they do, they'll put you down to 1 day a week, because they don't want you to quit on them.
Exactly.
When they get good employees, they'll pay them that 1 day a week, because I don't know what it's like out there, but here then, like, they work full time there. I would say anywhere from at least a bad year is half a year, like say 6 months, up to about 9 months a year.
Yeah.
And in that other time, they get paid the 1 day a week, and plus they get unemployment. So Daniel, they weren't just living on 1 day a goddamn week, which is what there's another bunch of crap.
Right.
Over and over again.
And
so
yeah. So but did you know by chance, just for the sake of people wanting to know, do you know what, I know that what you're saying exactly there, Derwood, about, obviously work gets slow. They don't want to lay you off. They keep you on, but mostly you're saying he works 3/4 of the year all around. But was there a particular day that he was set to work each week? Do you know?
Yeah, usually it was the same day. I think usually it would be a Monday.
Okay.
It was a regular 1 day a week. It wasn't just called in for a day.
Right. Yeah.
It was a regular schedule deal.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I haven't listened to today's Dolly with you, Derwood. I haven't had time because I was working, and then I was like, I had to have groceries coming, etc., etc. Anyways, life got busy, and I didn't listen to today's. I listened to yesterday's, and I know that you feel, and tell me if I'm wrong here. I know that you were saying on Dolly Visions Live that you don't believe the children are in the woods, and you don't believe that
they were never in the woods.
Right. And so because Daniel spoke to, see, this is what I said, and you said the same thing, but so Daniel spoke to Charmaine, which is the co-host with me on It's a Crime, for It's a Crime and Shame, and Daniel said a lot of stuff about Malaya and some other things. And he said that Charmaine could talk about certain things and to go through it. And just remember that, like the child meadow, obviously it goes to the internet. But my problem is that this is about Jack and Lilly. It's not about Daniel's love for Malaya and his little bit. Yeah.
That's why I don't give a shit. I really don't. It's not important to me as far as the relationship between Daniel and Malaya, I really think it was a pretty good relationship. Matter of fact, I'm sure it was. But like anything, they had their differences and they had their arguments here and there. I was married for 30 years and I had lots of them. Now, what I think happened, what I'm pretty sure happened, is Malaya. They had a few arguments, they had a bad stretch for a while.
Right.
And Malaya was complaining and bitching to some members of the family. And she lost her temper or lost her control a little bit, and she was like seriously complaining, saying she wanted out of there and stuff like this, right? And then there was some stuff she said that really wasn't true, but I think she was exaggerating her position. Now, some members of the family took that seriously. And they decided on their own. To look into it, right?
Right.
And okay, that's all I better say about that for now.
Yeah,
that's all I better say about that for now.
I get it. All
right, I'm going to tell you this. I'm really hopeful.
Yeah.
And I have some good reasons to really hope and believe that those kids are alive.
I would love to pray and think so as well. Absolutely.
Well, the reason why I can't say it's almost like I'm in a position like Daniel was stating, but slightly different. Daniel was saying he knew some stuff that he couldn't say. Well, I broke Daniel down, and he said I got it all out of him. Now, I'm not saying I agree with a lot of it, and I'm not saying it was the truth or a lie, but
Right.
I cross-checked a lot of it, and it helped me find out more information.
Well, he believes that Malaya's innocent of all this, is what he told us. That's what he told. Yeah, and then he also said
Malaya made an awful mistake, is what happened, and then she made a bad mistake. There was some people involved with her. They made a bad mistake, thinking they were doing something good, and before they realized what happened, things blew up so quick. The Mounties moved in so quick with the dogs.
Right.
The searchers and everything started so quick that by the time they realized, oh, Jesus, what did we do? It was gone too far. They couldn't back out of it.
Well, that's where I was at. You know, I keep flip-flopping like a fish, Derwood, to be honest with you, because I'm very deep empath, and I'm, you know, very wise to people's emotions and stuff. But Daniel has me for a loop, and Malaya and I keep flip-flopping like a fish, because one minute I'm like, okay, Daniel, you know, like, you know, and then next thing I know, I'm like, because the whole thing. Go ahead.
I was like that myself until I started learning more and more information. Like I said, I know so many people here, and there was people, once people found out around here that I was related to them, there was people that I've known for years. There's some retired Mounties that I went to school with, and one of them still active, and they were talking to me, and there was a lot of Daniel's cousin Logan, there was the mystery cousin. No, she's really his cousin, and I know her well.
Yeah,
and she was talking to me. She's like, I have a good relationship with them and my family.
Right.
And then I have a relationship with a lot of people around the community that sort of trust me. I was an evil bastard, but I was a good evil bastard. Like I want good for people. I want people to get along okay, and I want to have peace and stuff like that. So now, here's where I'm going to go with this. Finally, I am very sure. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat a 10-pound turnip or something. But and this, I'm narrowing it down. I'm very sure at this point that Malaya dressed the kids and took them to the roadside and put them in a vehicle. I'm about 80% sure I know who was driving the vehicle. I know who was in the vehicle.
Okay.
And I know who transported the kids. I'm very, very, very close to being 100% on that one. And when I finish finding out for sure, for absolute sure, then I'm gonna be able to find where those kids got delivered to.
Go ahead.
When I, and that's why I got to be careful about what I say. All right, I got the cops. The cops ride me pretty hard. I think somebody's got a private investigator on me, because there's been a blonde-haired girl running around the community here following me and taking pictures of me when I stop at a store and shit like that. And I don't care. They can do whatever they want. I can get away from them if I want. But and then I talked to the head guy of the major crime unit here, and he was told by some of my family that I had more information that they should know. Now, you see, the thing is, I don't really know if they know 100% of what I know, and vice versa.
Right.
But they will not. What I've formatted to this guy, the head of it, his name's Jordan. I said, listen, there's just I'm so close to nailing these people down that there's just, it's not serious facts. They're just small facts that will corroborate what I already know.
Right.
But they will not tell me anything. But yet they are demanding that I tell them what I know.
Right. Yeah, gotcha.
And I won't do it. And there's a lot of people on here saying, "Oh yeah, you should go to the cops. You should tell them everything." Well, I listen. I've seen a lot of incompetence in the goddamn cops around here, man.
Right.
And I don't trust them. Yeah. And I don't think they're workers. I'll tell you this. I think they, This has been going on for what, 6.5 weeks? And if these guys would have done their goddamn jobs, this would have been over within a week.
You speak the truth.
And that's what's really pissing me off. The longer these kids have been out there floating around, the more chance there is of them being hurt.
Yeah,
and I hate that, and I won't put up with it. And the cops are threatening me with charges. Well, they can shove that because here's the way it is. Here's the way it is.
You speak it.
If I give them a name, right? Yeah. And I asked the guy today. I said, "Okay, you won't tell me anything." Mm-hmm. He says, "No, that's the way we investigate." And I said, "Well, that's maybe part of your problem. Maybe that's why the kids aren't goddamn well in our living room right now." Mm-hmm. So anyway, he didn't. I was ignorant to him, and I can be ignorant, I guess, especially when I get pissed
You're
off
feisty. You're feisty.
But anyway, I said, "Okay, I give you a name. Let's, for example, I give you a name right now." And he said, "Yeah." I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "Well, we're going to investigate." And I said, "Well, how are you going to investigate? Tell me what you're going to do." I said, "Is you're just going to go and interview the person?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "So if I give you a name of somebody I believe picked the kids up and transported them to somewhere else and gave them to somebody else, you're going to go interview them and they're going to drop a goddamn dime the minute you walk away to the people that have the kids, and then that's going to blow the whole thing because then the kids will either be moved,
right,
or they'll or whoever has them will panic and hurt them." And I put out the warning on Dolly Vision, and this is why I did it. And I'll do it here too. I'll do it. I hope the people, if those kids are alive, and that's a big if because it's been a long time, but I still believe there's a very good chance they are. Mm-hmm. If those kids are still alive, and if they're where I think they are, if you to the goddamn idiots that are still holding on to those kids, I want to say this: if you panic, we're zeroing in on you, and you know it. The last couple of days, they know we're zeroing in on them. And if you panic and hurt those kids, thinking that you're going to hurt them and get rid of them and not get nailed, you're wrong. Because we're already very close to having you. And if we're going to have you regardless of whether you hurt the kids or not, and if you hurt the kids, it's going to go one hell of a lot worse on you. So here's my advice to you, goddamn idiots.
Go on.
Bring those kids to the light of day. Bring them to somewhere where we can get them into safety and where they should be. Now, there's no way they're going to be going back to Malaya or Daniel, I'll tell you that, because of the CPS problems and that, and especially since Malaya bailed today. I don't believe there's any way that either Daniel's going to get those two kids back or Malaya. And I don't believe Malaya should because she's not mentally capable.
Right. Can I ask you one thing? Was there, just to ask you if you can answer or not, was there CPS issues before this that we've heard? I'm just asking you if you could say or not, if you know. If you don't, then
not that I know. Not that I know of. No. No.
Okay.
And you know, the inside of that trailer.
Yeah.
The inside of the trailer, those kids were always kept clean. They were always well fed. The inside of the trailer was a lot neater than the outside. And one thing about the old cars and that laying around was when Daniel was working one day a week, he tried to make a spare buck here and there off selling a car part and stuff like that.
Yeah, Belinda had said
that. That did accumulate. I mean, there's some old washers, but a lot of people in rural Nova Scotia live like that, man. It's nothing rare. So these people, there's no the kids. I believe the kids are alive about number 4 because there's no real killers amongst these people. There's no kid killers amongst these people.
Oh, right, okay.
Now, and I believe there's a very good chance if these goddamn idiots hear me now. I really am closing in. Especially, I found a lot of information today. I had a good day today.
Did you have a good day today?
Yeah, and I'm going to go observe some people in the next couple of days and watch a few things. So I want these people to know that they're being zeroed in on. They're not going to get away with this.
You're like a true crime sleuth over there.
So come clean, or else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, I have a question.
One sec, Charmaine. It's okay. 1 second. Charmaine's trying to ask you a question here. Go ahead, Charmaine.
I just want to know if you're correct in where the kids probably are, do you believe that Malaya knows where they are and that's why she left? Or because she knows that by hiding them for this long, she's in serious trouble regardless if they're alive or not alive. This is still this has become a huge deal. And if they're alive and just being hidden, I don't understand because
Excuse me, go ahead.
No. Okay. Well, answer that part of it if you could first, Charmaine.
Yes, now this is no proof, so
No,
this
it's just
is
speculation.
okay? But it's a fairly educated guess, is all I say, because I'm not going to say something's true if I really don't know, or if I don't have some kind of foundation behind it.
Right.
Now, this may not be true.
Okay.
But every indication through everywhere is yes, Malaya knows where they're at. And her bailing today was another large indication to me, because I think she was informed very quickly that I stated a name. I inquired about a name, and I was eavesdropped on, and I dropped the name because I wanted to be eavesdropped on.
Right.
Because the person that was eavesdropping, I was very suspicious of being involved. And before I got back home, I got the phone call that Jesus Christ, Malaya had grabbed the baby, panicked, and took off.
So is
So
that
I
fact?
think,
Is that fact, Derwood?
yes, it is that Malaya grabbed
Yeah.
the baby and took off.
Yeah.
The only part of that I can't verify.
Right. Is why?
Is that she went to the reserve in Shubenacadie, although that's where she screamed that she was running.
Okay.
And my relatives all believe that that's where she headed now, unless she changed her mind.
Right.
And somebody had tried to call her to verify this, because one of the people I know called her, and when she recognized the voice, they could hear the car going, and they could hear the wind in the car. They knew she was traveling in a car.
Right.
And she immediately hung up on them and shut her phone off. So that's the total of, I know for a fact she grabbed the baby and bailed in a hurry. And I would say 85% sure myself that she was heading for the reserve in Shubenacadie.
Now, Derwood, if you don't mind, can I go back to something for a sec? Well, there's a couple things, but it's stuff that you kind of were talking about. But like, okay, now Daniel's interview yesterday, right? So my thing is this: I like to look and a lot of other viewers, but myself and Charmaine, we just like to look at the facts and see where the facts take us. And then, the other stuff to the side becomes side stuff. And, does it belong in there? Does it seem like it doesn't belong in there? But, regardless, whenever family speaks, that's fact, regardless if it's, truth or not, regardless, right? So that's what we like to look at. That's what we always like to put out there, just the truth and the facts of the case, and then talk about speculation. As long as, but so Daniel's interview yesterday there was quite a few things that were different than what he had told Charmaine.
I don't think a lot of Daniel's interview yesterday was accurate.
No. Well, there were some things in there for sure, but one of the things that, like, what he said, like that Daniel out of his mouth said, so there's a couple of things that, and maybe you might have the answer, maybe you don't. A lot of us keep questioning, like, okay, so if the kids went out back through this silent door, which is a strange thing to say, okay, that a silent door, two people saying that in an interview is kind of weird. Usually you don't say, even saying to Belinda, same thing was said to Belinda in messages, which makes it seem like it's contrived. But did not Janie hear the kids or see the kids, like, to give insight to the Thursday? Because I know that there's video footage from New Glasgow from Thursday, but like, is there anything that you know of by chance about anything about from Thursday to Friday? And if Janie had seen them, the children?
Yes, Janie had heard them. You're talking about Daniel's mother, Janie.
Correct, Janie. Yes. And if you can't say something, then obviously you can't.
Just let me think it over for a sec.
Sure. Because he did say that to Belinda, Daniel. He did say that she thought she might have heard them, and the dogs barked a couple times. That's what Daniel said to Belinda. So it was just a matter as if, there was a little bit more on that one, like if Janie had actually seen or the kids, or if there was confirmation that she did hear them. That was all. That spot is very hard for people that are following the case to understand.
Well, here's my understanding on Janie. Malaya never thought that Janie was home at the time in the morning, that early in the morning.
Right.
Malaya was on the side of the road, and Janie showed up and surprised the shit out of Malaya.
She was on the side of the road?
Yep. I believe this is not fact.
Okay. Speculation.
I can't prove it.
Okay.
I believe that Janie just missed the kid transfer. I believe that Janie just missed the kids being put into a vehicle.
So, right, because again, me and Charmaine, we have more information that Daniel had said, because like I said, he did have a conversation, and it's too bad that he's more worried about Malaya than meaning
that's changing, by the way, today.
I hope
yesterday.
so.
That's changing. She's lost his support pretty badly, because
I hope
right
so.
now he's so worried about Meadow. He believes that if CPS takes Meadow now, he's worried about Malaya committing suicide. He thinks she's that mentally worried, and I don't want to see that either.
Right, of course, nobody does.
Believe it or not, I think I like Malaya. I've always liked Malaya, but I think Malaya just she's had a rough go of it with she's had 2 kids, and they broke up. They couldn't stick a family together, and I think she tried.
Yeah.
And then with Daniel, it's not been all
roses,
great, but
right.
I think it was pretty decent, to tell you the truth. But now with this happening, I think it blew her right out of the water. I think with some postpartum depression and just some regular family issues, some financial worries, and not going as great as because she was starting to. I think she was just sort of starting to look at her life and wishing for a little better, like we all do.
Right.
And I think this thing happened by almost fluke. And she, right at the time, I think she sort of panicked. There was people formulated a plan, and I think she had never had. Pardon?
But why, our thing is this: Jack and Lilly aren't Daniels, so why would there need to be this whole ruse of hiding the children, or what's your thoughts on that? Because I know it's just going to be.
Well, I don't think initially that she intended to hide the children. I think she was worried that Daniel would be very upset if she moved the kids out of there, and I think she intended. When she got those 2 out of there, I think she intended to take the baby and get out of there herself.
Well. Okay.
And when she moved the kids out of there, now this is all conjecture now.
Right? Yeah. No
because
problem.
I haven't even been able to talk to Malaya yet.
No.
But I believe she moved the kids out of there to thinking that she was protecting the kids and moving them to a better life. Because, like I said about, well, now I pretty much slipped into something that I didn't want to say.
It's okay.
I think, there's a couple ways you can go there. Maybe she was having postpartum depression.
Right.
Maybe she was having some mental issues that she was finding she couldn't handle the pressure of raising the 3 of them.
Right.
Her and Daniel were probably not getting along for a little while there at a stretch.
Right.
And she was complaining about that to some family members.
Right.
And I think they took it upon themselves to help. She was saying she wanted out of there, and so they helped her take the 2 kids out of there. And I think initially Daniel was actually still sleeping when most of this went on, and I think she planned on being in the next vehicle out of there with the baby.
Yeah, well, that's just it. Because I've been into very abusive relationships and stuff like that. So I'm trying to relate from both sides, because Daniel did tell Belinda that actually she was in worse than a postpartum, as if a man knows, Derwood, what postpartum is like when you have children. But it is something real. It does exist for sure. And so basically, I think we can gather by Daniel saying that to Belinda is that she obviously was going through some mental health issues and some postpartum, issues going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can associate as you're telling.
I can too.
Yeah.
I can too. I think that some of this came out of confusion. Some of it came out of snap decisions, that weren't thought through really well. And then, but like I said, by the time it was partly done, and like, okay, I think the only reason the cops got called is because, oh no, I can't say that.
It's okay if you can't. Sorry, I'm just getting my charger. Go ahead.
There's been abuse allegations thrown everywhere. Okay, and
do you know if Daniel has charges of abuse? Because some people are posting that.
No,
it's the wrong Daniel Martel, isn't it?
No, I don't think Daniel was never charged with abuse. No.
Okay, thank you.
Not that I know of. No.
Okay.
I'd be very surprised.
No, there's another Daniel Martel in Nova Scotia as well that I believe is the one that people are getting mixed up with.
So anyway, am I boring the shit out of you?
No, no, trust me. Honestly, I'm a big talker myself. I talk all day at work because I have to. I'm a customer service agent.
It's exhausting me.
Is it? No.
This is all information, and it's really important to get the truth out there. So
I love these guys on this goddamn thing that everything you say is a lie. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. You're probably not even a relative at all, and all this crap. And that's fine. They don't know, but.
Yeah, so Charmaine just finished saying to you, no. We love this stuff. We do. Like, honestly, and please know, is this the first time you've seen our channel?
No, I've watched your channel.
Okay.
I've watched your channel a few times.
Okay.
I've watched all of them, and yours is yours is another one. Dolly's not too bad on the clickbait. I don't really think yours is either. As a matter of fact, I don't think I saw hardly any at all on yours.
I don't do any clickbait at all. I don't do nothing.
I don't think I saw any. Now, Dolly does a little bit.
He does. He knows
I think it hurts viewership when they do that, because when somebody has a headline there that catches their interest, and then they read the headline, and then they spend an hour looking at the goddamn video, and none of that is ever true or even comes out, well, you're not going to go back and look at that again, because it's bullshit, so you don't want to see it again. So I think it's better.
For subscription wise, it's better to try to be more ethical with that, because I too, just like you do, get pissed off when somebody uses, and I kind of blasted Dolly because I'm sick and tired of clickbait things. But when I thought about what he was saying, I still will never do it myself. But clickbait, so clickbait causes awareness, but you can also lose subs to it because nobody likes that.
What the hell is his real name anyway? Dolly. I can't see that being his name. It doesn't matter.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Either, but
so
I'll call him Dolly, I guess.
No, I just really do my thing on this channel, and like I said, everything we do, first and foremost, will always be about the victims in this case.
All I can say to these people that do that is, what is wrong with the truth?
There's nothing wrong with the truth.
What is wrong with the truth? I think I think people in general are getting a long ways off track. Be truthful, just be real. Because I'll tell you something, half the time the people around here, if you tell them the truth, they don't believe you anyway. So
I know. Yeah, because when you're on that side of the fence, and we've been in true crime for 5 years, and like ourselves, and so for us, well, Charmaine might have been longer, but I've been doing this channel since 2020 because I got really upset with a case where I knew that the husband killed the wife, and I could tell it was on Mother's Day, and I brought up my channel because I was like, oh no one's gonna. I wanted the case to stay revived, right? So
that's another one important reason why I initially called Dolly. It was about 2:00 in the morning, I think, and I was severely pissed off because the kids were. It was almost like the kids were being forgotten about. It was just gradually fading away. Everybody was cursing Daniel, and everybody was cursing Malaya, and it was almost like there was too many people concentrating on cursing Daniel and Malaya and forgetting about Jack and Lilly. Well, and I that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring this back. Listen. Like I said before, I don't really give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want, if the people that are involved in this,
well,
they should be in a lot of shit, because all the searchers and that they put out, the helicopters, the drones, the expenses, the satellite imagery. I mean, we got a satellite watching things down here, for Jesus' sake. And I mean, what is the cost of that crap? And all the people that took time off work, like, I mean, at one point there was 160 or 70 people out there volunteering their time and taking work off to try to find these kids. And that's just not, somebody's going to end up paying for that, I believe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No.
So that's the main shit I think somebody's going to end up in.
Well,
and
go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, I talked too much.
No. They would rather hear you than me. Trust me on this one. But I do want to say this, okay? So just know is that, and this is something I had to learn myself coming into true crime. Okay, there are your crap channels and there are your good channels. But at the end of the day, regardless if there's drama, trust me on this one, Derwood, that any coverage to a case is keeping it out there. And that's what you want. Drama is, so people love drama. So please, in your own mind.
No, I don't really give a shit about them.
Yeah.
I used to be not a very confident man, but I'm confident enough now that
I'm glad.
I don't really run on what other people say or think about me, because I believe I stand on my own 2 feet, and I don't hate myself when I look in the mirror, so I think I'm not that bad guy.
And you're kind of handsome too, right? You said.
Oh, thanks, Dave. That makes my night.
But yeah.
Anyway, look. Just chill out, people, is all I can say. Keep your eyes open and your ears open, and look.
Well,
if I get a crack at those kids, to help my Jesus, I'll bleed to get them, because I love them. And,
you know what?
I want those goddamn kids so bad, it's ridiculous.
I get it. You know, and what I was gonna say about that too, because like Belinda, right? I'm not. Do you actually know Belinda?
No. I know of her.
But
no, I've never communicated with her. No, I don't.
You know what? She's just a wonderful lady, and
she seems like a nice lady. I watched a couple of her interviews there, and I can feel that she's genuinely, deeply concerned about the kids.
Absolutely.
And I like her myself, just from what I've seen. I like her, and my woman likes her too. My woman thinks she's good.
You mean you're haughty? So you're handsome and you're haughty? Is that right?
Am I handsome and my haughty?
Yeah,
well,
you're handsome. No, well, your haughty's your other half. You're the handsome.
I've got a woman on the planet. I've got a woman that saved my life, and I'm so loyal to her that I'd be her dog anytime she wants to put a leash on me. And
well,
I owe her a lot.
I was gonna say, please, like honestly, being a voice matters. It really, truly does. Being a voice to a case when family is speaking, it matters a lot. So please, I want to say this, because like I say to Belinda, just know I'm going to do this for this reason. Okay. So just know, trust me on this, but meaning what I want to personally say to you, and whether it was on Dolly's show or this show tonight, I really do want to say thank you, because honestly, the RCMP can suck it sometimes and whatever, right? Like there's good ones.
I don't think
yeah, it's okay.
Listen, we just had a woman here last year, an older lady. She was 70. I believe she was 70-some years old. She had Alzheimer's bad. She jumped in her car, and she was being seen all over the goddamn community. And I mean, they had a big search for her, but yet she was still being seen all over the place. And they found her goddamn car parked with the door open. She walked right out of her car, and that was last year, and they never found her yet. Now, come on.
Right.
I bet you I know half a dozen people. The first thing, all right, I'm pissed off now. I might as well let it fly. These goddamn cops, these cops are making huge money, huge pensions for sitting most of the time drinking coffee and doing nothing but writing out goddamn traffic tickets. And the first thing they goddamn well do when they got to go find something or look at something or get dirty is put a goddamn ad in the paper that they want the public's help to solve this case. What in the G's are they there for if we got to solve every goddamn thing for them? Just like this. These goddamn idiots had 6.5 weeks to find those kids.
Yeah.
And I'm just an idiot from nowhere who's got nothing to work with or anything else. And I believe I'm finding out a lot more than they goddamn well know. And it makes me
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit if don't worry, I've expressed my opinion to the bastards, and they can do whatever they want because I just don't care anymore. I'm so sick of them. I'm telling you.
I'm just telling you. I love feisty. I love feisty.
Oh, I might be past feisty into half insane. I don't know.
But you know what I do. I was going to say, I mean, I totally understand your frustrations for sure from this side of it. I mean, the RCMP is tight-lipped, but one day they're going to realize that the internet is a force to be reckoned with, because honestly, they keep saying, I'm holding it close to the vest. I'm holding it close to the vest, blah, blah, blah. You know, but what's going on? It's been 6 weeks, 7 weeks almost now. Yeah. And nothing.
Yeah.
And crickets.
Yeah. And my suggestion was 2 weeks ago, open everything up to the public now. You stunned bastards, you're not getting anywhere. You're not fixing anything. And meanwhile, the kids are floating around like a bobber in a goddamn lost lake, and we're not getting any results. So what would it hurt for you to open up all the information you have? And then there's a whole, there's thousands of people down here want these kids found.
Absolutely.
There's people searching for these goddamn kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if they open it up, if those kids are still alive, and they're going to be seen, they're going to, if the whole outfit knows something about, because if the Mounties put out the information they know, I'm goddamn sure there's some community members that can piece something together just with what they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something they saw last week, or some little thing that clicks into their mind, just like they did when they visited my place. That never clicked into my mind till a week later what was going on.
Did they actually come and talk to you at all, or
yes.
no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, all of them did. Well, who do you mean? Cops, Daniel, the rest of them? Daniel's the guy used to buy. I found out the guy Daniel used to buy his drugs off of because he was suspected. And
right.
That was, a few years ago and that. And then there was some other. Oh, yeah. No, I was at them.
I know.
And,
it's just, I know it's so hard because
I've got to, don't worry. I got a few threats landing in these goddamn idiots.
Yeah.
And that tells me that I might just be getting a little close.
Yeah, I know, because trust me. People just know that people will send threats for sure. They'll, it's part of it. And now I will say that no one could shut me up if this was my children. Like if this was my child missing, or children in this case, Jack and Lily, you wouldn't shut me up. You would. I would not.
You go. There you go. The excuse from I was mad at Cindy.
Yeah.
And I was pissed off at Malaya because they weren't screaming for these goddamn kids.
Right.
And their excuse back to me was, the Mounties ordered them not to. Well,
which is a lie.
My response to that was, fuck the Mounties. It's your kids. Well, who do you care? What do you care more about? And that made me very curious. That made me really.
Yeah.
Like, Malaya, what in the Jesus are you doing?
Well, the thing was, right, okay, so, so when Belinda accepted my friend's request a week later, it was because I was constantly checking on her Facebook, just to see if anyone was really posting about Lily and Jack from the family side. And I kept hearting it, and I'd say a few words, because I just totally felt horrible for this case. And so then a week later, she accepted me, and she had said to me that she felt like I was the right person to talk to. So I absolutely just loved it that she saw genuineness in this channel and the personality and stuff like that. And so Derwood, where was I going with that?
I think you were going to apply for a job as a dispatcher for the Mounties who coordinated their goddamn information for them, because that's probably what you should be doing.
Oh.
You can get information from all kinds of directions, and you seem to be good at sticking it together and coordinating it. So I sort of like that, and I appreciate that, because
I know where I was going.
And all the people, I don't know how many goddamn people's watching this now, and I don't give a shit, but all of them. Please, people, please stop with the bullshit guessing. Stop with a lot of that crap. Just keep your eyes and your ears open. You don't learn anything by shooting your mouth off. You only learn when you listen. So everybody in the community, listen to what everybody's saying. And okay, I'm going to say one more thing. I'm going to point a direction out pretty hard here. Okay.
Okay. Hardball.
Could be wrong.
Good.
Could be wrong.
Speculation.
How about you people down around Tatamagouche keeping your goddamn eyes and ears open for me?
About where? Where? In where?
Tatamagouche.
Tatamagouche.
Oh, really?
Indians named it years ago because they were shooting arrows up in the air. One of them hit a goose and they got in an argument over it. And he said, "That's my goose."
Oh, that's my goose. Wait, I have to go back to what I was talking about because I remember I found my road. I found my path back. Okay. So what I was going to say, what really pisses me off, and this is, again, I'm a mother, right? For children for me are the most precious gifts ever. So it really does hurt my heart. Any of these cases that we do follow, it's because somehow they resonated. But regardless, children are innocent. But what pissed me off is that here we have Malaya, the mother, doesn't even use her Facebook social media to post anything anymore about Jack and Lilly. There's crickets, nothing. And so it's like you are the mother. Why is it that people that don't even know you or your kids care more about talking about your kids than you do? And so my thing is that you got social media, and yet you log in, add a few friends, you take all Daniel's pictures down, but you have time to do that while your two kids are missing. So tell me that that's not weird in a sense that someone does that. And I mean, I know Daniel has said that Cindy arrived a few minutes after the police arrived there and stuff like that. And I already know that he thinks that, how Daniel said it was that he believes that Cindy's mother's a monster, basically, and is holding Malaya hostage. And Malaya's basically been mind warped in a sense and innocent of all this in the loosest way. I'm saying that, but that's what he was saying. Okay. But regardless, that's literally verbatim on his messages, but right.
I know that.
And that's why I said, like, Daniel, you need to get a bib and drool because honestly, this is about Jack and Lilly. Who gives two shits about Malaya at this moment? This is about Jack and Lilly, always 1,000%. So I, as a mother, and I know that you feel this way too, and that's why you're speaking out because you're frustrated, but as mothers, as parents, for us to watch people hide and then try to use the RCMP as the reason why they can't talk, which we already know is bullshit. We already know that, right? But these are your children. These are your children. And right. So why
they're the only pure form of humanity.
So I mean, that's why everyone yes, Daniel gets side-eye because of course you don't know. It's like you're watching somebody and you're not sure if he's being truthful. You actually, to be honest with you, this case, and as you well know, there's a lot of inconsistencies in the timeline that we know of. You probably have more out of Daniel, of course, if you talk to him. We have the bit of information when Daniel was talking to Charmaine, but it gives you more insight into the day. But it's still there's stuff missing. There's a picture, and you obviously feel that the kids, this went totally wrong. It was never supposed to be this big. Went totally wrong, and now it's kind of basically when you're hooped, and you're basically just going to keep the lie up type of idea. Is that kind of the gist of what you think's going on? You said. That Malaya did do something she knows, and that these kids are hidden, and you believe that they're alive, I believe is what you're really hoping that they are.
Oh, that you're saying it, and maybe I'm hoping so hard that I'm trying to believe it.
Same.
But I believe it because of some facts too, and I don't want Malaya is
Spit it out.
Malaya in her natural personality is a very malleable person. She's probably fairly easy led if somebody wanted to manipulate her or stuff like that. And I think she's been, I don't know, to say it in my way.
I know what you're saying.
If everybody can just give her a little bit of slack, because I think she could use a little bit of slack, and I'm not saying she shouldn't be straightened out, And I'll be the first one. I'm straightening her out. To tell you the truth, what I'm saying on here, I don't think Malaya would be very pleased about it, but I can't help it.
Jack and Lilly.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly.
Jack
I
and
believe the girl dressed them and loaded them out into a vehicle.
Right. Now,
and mistake or not, they went down the road. I'm sure of that. And there's no, if there was abuse, I think Malaya could have handled it a lot better. I mean, they were her kids. Why didn't she just grow? I mean, she can't grow a set of balls. But anyway,
stop taking my terms.
I wish she would have been just a little braver and just took the kids and left.
Right. If that's how it went down.
If she'd have done that and come to our family, come to us, we protect her from anything that
I know
might come down the road.
I know.
And I don't think she thought that she had anybody that would help her or protect her or stand up for her. And that's another reason I think she acted in very bad judgment.
Well, what do you think of her? Can I ask you, Derwood, what did you think of her interview? Because I thought it was one of the worst interviews that I've ever seen.
Scared shitless.
Is that how you? Yeah. So just your interpretation yourself. You feel like she was scared shitless?
Very, very. There it is, right there. That's the whole, to me, summed up. Scared shitless.
Yeah, because she was totally.
She was almost frozen in panic.
Yeah.
And insecurity, like the insecurity's been coming along for a long time. Like I said, she's not an aggressive person in that way. Like personality wise, she's very, very soft spoken, sort of quiet. Like
that's what Belinda said. Yeah.
And there was just too much going on around her, and just too much going on.
Yeah.
And she was scared. She knew she at that point, I'm sure she knew she made up a lie, and then she couldn't back out of it. She was just too scared to stand up and tell the truth at that time. I really believe that.
Yeah. Jared, do you mind quickly if Charmaine just if she asks you a question? Would you mind?
No, I guess I'm past minding now. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's not really a question. It's just more of a kind of make sure that I understand everything in a nutshell for chat. So can you confirm this is what you believe, that Malaya had planned, I guess, to get the kids out of there so to make it easier for her to leave with Meadow that morning? And so she took the kids to the end of the driveway and handed them off, not to get the kids away from Daniel, but just to make it easier for her to leave that situation. Is that kind of, in a nutshell, what you're thinking? And then the RCMP response was so quick, I think, because of the missing kayaker or whatever, and they had the RCMP and the dogs and the drones and everything there a lot quicker, and everything just kind of went so quick and blew up so fast that she panicked and was scared to get in trouble, so she didn't speak up and say, I have the kids, they're not missing.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think if you see what I mentioned before, now this is partly theory, this little wee part of it, and you've got everything right down pat as far as I'm concerned about that situation. You're right on the money. There's one little thing that I already said to that I made. I don't think you missed it because I probably talked too fast or something. But the one thing that surprised her, that buggered up her plan, and this is only conjecture,
Jamie.
But it's pretty tight. She didn't know that Janie was home. She never thought Janie was home. So I think her plan was, when those kids went down the road, I think Daniel was sleeping. I think she was going to go back in, take the baby, and bail. But you see, Janie was home and got awakened and came out to the side of the road. And that's when you've heard Daniel say that she was kind of stunned on the side of the road and looking guilty when he came out, because Janie was already there, and that she was looking guilty and that she was playing with her phone.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think like Janie sort of caught her unintentionally and didn't know she caught her. Like, she wondered what she was doing out on the side of the road that early.
Right.
And from what I understand the conversation, Janie never had much. Janie looked at Malaya and said, "What did you do?" and Malaya just stood there stunned.
Oh, okay.
Now that's what I heard. And then,
Yeah.
now this part of this I can't prove because I wasn't there.
Right.
But that's what that's what I think occurred. But everything else you just said is right on the button.
Now, just ask you, does Janie, is she retired, do you know, or does she work?
I think she is. My woman that I'm with now worked with her at the home as a caretaker, like for one of the homes there for years. And from what I understand, Janie's a hell of a nice person. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I met like I said, I knew so many people around here when I was back home and excavating and that. And I'm sure I met her probably half a dozen times, but I just can't place her. And I'm sure I know her. And one thing, I don't want to talk to Belinda because I don't want to give her any false hope.
Right.
And I don't. But my God, one thing I would love for her and for all of us. Tell her there's some people that really want those kids back. She's not alone. We want those, and to have a little bit of hope, because I know she's losing hope. From her interviews and that, she was pretty sure the kids are gone.
Right.
Well, it would be a good Christmas day if we walked back up the main street with those kids, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, absolutely. Honestly, again, it just, I mean, I'm not family, but it just tears my heart apart. Just anything to do with the missing of children. You know, they're so innocent, and to see little Lily's and Jack's face, you know, and even that 3-year-old girl, thank God she was found alive, you know.
Yeah. Here we got one. Here, I'm going to get pissed off at this person. Sandra Chisholm. I just looked over at the comments. This dink. She's got to be a dink. That's ridiculous that Malaya orchestrated this. Daniel never said she was on the side of the road. Daniel says now that Malaya was asleep and he noticed that the kids were gone. What crap. Well, listen, baby, I'm going to tell you one goddamn fact. One of the people that told me about Janie and told me about Malaya on the side of the road was Daniel himself, face to face. And then there was a couple other people I got the same idea on. So there's another person there saying, what crap. They don't know what they're talking. There's another person.
Well, yeah,
I wonder if that woman knows shit from applesauce. You're not supposed to be rude, but I'm going to be rude. So that's the kind of thing. If you know something, say it. If you don't, shut your pie hole.
I think,
I'm not laughing. I'm pissed off now. Like, people like that really piss me off.
Well, I was going to say, so again, in the true crime world, you know, you're going to honestly, you get a thick skin. So regardless, no matter what, there's going to be 1,000 people, a couple thousand that are going to say things that you're not going to like, right? So honestly, it's honestly.
I hope what I said to her, I hope she dislikes that as much as I dislike what she goddamn well said.
Oh, well,
so I'll make her a deal if she'll pull back her goddamn slow or play a little, but I'll throw mine and apologize to her. But until then, if you don't know, shut up.
Because so comments, trust me, they're something that probably you should avoid looking at too much, because you know what, at the end of the day, again, it's about Jack and Lily, right? Malaya, exactly. If Malaya or Daniel had any part of this, you know, they'll reap what they sow if they're lying and if they have anything. At the end of the day, we just want to keep the awareness out there about Jack and Lily for sure. Absolutely. You know, and just hopefully.
I see some of the people on there finding me amusing, and I hope they do. I hope they have a laugh. And I'm serious about this now. I'm not kidding. They do have a laugh, because I am kind of an idiot at times, and I hope they do have a laugh, and remember the laugh, and remember Jack and Lily. Let's keep our eyes and ears open, folks. So Jesus Christ, let's try to bring these kids. Let's try to find these kids, and I'm not going to say too much more, because over the next couple of days I'm going to be doing a little traveling, because there's a couple people I have to watch.
Well, I was going to say, you know, because I don't want to take up any more of your time, even though I know there's definitely could be more, but it's late there. Okay. It's definitely.
What time is it?
You know what? It's not your bedtime. I'll tell you that much right now. It's not.
Oh, Jesus. Time flies fast. You're having fun, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I love your spirit. I do. You're feisty. You're like me. You're feisty. And you say a lot of the same words I say, like pie hole and stuff like that. But anyways, So that's what everyone appreciates, a good feisty person. So trust me when I say this, again, people are going to say and do and make thumbnails or do whatever. They're going to do that regardless. No matter what you say, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the purpose is, like, Derwood, is, and by the way, Dolly's name is Jimmy, apparently.
No, I hope I don't offend you. But on that line of questioning, will people going to say what they're going to say and do what they're going to do?
Yeah.
How are these people stupid enough to vote Liberal? That's all I'm going to say. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay. So Derwood, quickly, I know that's not your real name, like you said, but anyways, so you have me on Messenger. Again, if there's ever a time that you say, hey, Sunny, can I come up? I got some shit to say. Just feel free to message me when we're doing a live. If there is anything you want to talk about, for sure. Because again, it's family that keeps this going. Because trust me, the news drops off, channels drop off. And so the thing that keeps it going is people like yourself and like Belinda, and however somebody feels about Daniel, keeping the awareness out there. Family is very important when they're speaking. So I applaud you for going, you know what?
Don't applaud me. I'm just doing what I figure I have to do.
Well,
and I'd be guilty.
Exactly.
I feel guilty if I don't do it.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I've asked Jesus Christ a lot of times if I should just stay in this because, but I don't see anybody else in it.
Well, you know what? All I know is, like myself and like others, right, is that you're doing the right thing. And so there's no question that's wrong about that. You're fighting for Jack and Lilly and the answers, and there's absolutely nothing wrong. So when I say I applaud, no, I respect people that you know what, a lot of people are passive and a lot of people are pussies and stuff like that, and they don't want to come forward and whatever, and that's their choice. But then there's people like us who have voices that come forward and speak speak our truth in a sense. So just keep it real, and if you want to come back on and talk, just message me on Messenger again. But it's been a very much of a pleasure that you joined us tonight. Okay, so thank you so much for that.
Good to meet you.
You too.
I'll go take some time to calm down.
Oh, no.
All right, see you later.
Go have some applesauce, Derwood.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, that was very nice of him.
That was incredible.
So some people have moved on to other cases over the last week or two, and it's very worrying because we all know that's the start of all cold cases. So a massive respect to everyone who's fighting for Jack and Lilly. There's some amazing channels and people that I'm proud to be a part of. I just wish we could have more information from the RCMP so we know where they're at and stop all this wondering, because I don't want to say anything bad. We all want to support the RCMP, but at this point it's hard when we don't know what we are supporting. So hopefully we will have some movement with the case any day now. Thanks for watching. See you all in my next video. Stay safe.